I'm gonna tag you, Gigi. All right. Hello, friends.
Hi, friends.
Welcome to another episode of the Eventful Life TV, Living Out Loud. Gigi, can you see yourself over there? Did it
Yes,
share?
I can.
Okay, perfect. Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to another week and another episode of the Eventful Life, Living Out Loud. I am your host, Janelle Boyd. I'm a mompreneur, educator, motivator, and recently I've coined myself an instigator because I like to challenge you to think a little differently in this space. I think as women who are passionate, multi-passionate, we show up in different ways, and we also, have our challenges, our triumphs, but the beauty of it is that we learn to fail forward. And women that I bring to you each and every week, that's exactly what they are doing. They are mompreneurs, they are womenpreneurs just like yourself, and they are challenging themselves to continually show up in their authenticity, even while they experience these different things, so that we understand that we are not alone. You know, a lot of times we think that we're alone in some of the things that we are experiencing and going through along life's journey, whether it's in our business or even in our life, but we are not, my friends. And so that's one of the reasons why I created Living Out Loud, so that we have a safe space and place that we can share these things and know that, look, we are still in it to win it. Okay. So I'm so excited. Listen, this is about to be a fun, engaging conversation that we're about to have this week, guys, because I have known this lady it feels like eternity. You know how when you meet people and y'all both have that energy and just immediately it's like the stars just align. Well, that is literally how we have come into each other's sphere and have literally been in each other's world ever since then. But I've had the opportunity to watch her grow leaps and bounds and step into, her own entrepreneurial journey and do it so authentically. And so I asked her to come and share with us today because I believe that she's done such a phenomenal job at branding herself authentically and really showing up just as who she is, honey, unapologetically. And so I'm so honored to just introduce you to my good girlfriend, Gigi McMillan. She is the founder and the chief creative officer of Kamisol Stylist. So welcome, Gigi. Welcome, girl.
Woo-woo! How you doing?
Good.
Girl, I was so excited for this. I was like, oh, I got to do this. I got to get ready. I'm talking to my girl. This is different. This is different. I'm gonna put on my cute little color.
I know. Look, you styling and profiling as usual. I love the hair. The hair always gives me life. Okay. So yes, but thank you for saying yes to sharing time and space with me today. This is just, I always say this is my therapy. This is my weekly therapy because I like to come here and, just have good conversation. There's nothing like good conversation with good people.
With good people. That's it.
Yes.
Time is so valuable. But when you can have a good conversation,
Yeah.
that's the most valuable time that I love spending week to week, having great
Yeah.
conversations with great people.
That's right. That's right. So let's dive in, because one thing I do know is
Okay.
that this time goes so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to make sure that the audience gets some good nuggets out of what we came here to talk about today.
Okay.
So let's dive into how you got started, your journey. How did you find yourself falling in love with style? And then how did that kind of translate to you, really understanding that that's also connected to branding yourself from within?
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, that's beautiful. Janelle, I think I fell in love with style when I was a little girl. I was talking about this the other day. I love Barbie. I absolutely love Barbie. I had Barbie
Everybody had a Barbie.
her pool, her barn, her dog,
Yes.
Ken, whoever. And but that wasn't an option of,
Yeah.
a career path during that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So, it just goes on the back seat. And the next thing that I love was people. So I said, okay, I'm a human resource director. let's walk that path.
Right.
And it's been great. But when it came back to it, that little girl kept talking to me. And so I extended and went and learned more about visual merchandising and
Okay.
branding. I never worked in retail or anything like that, but
Yeah.
I knew. So after I went through and got an associate's in that, I was like, okay, I got this.
Right. Right. You're like, it feels like second
Yeah, I
nature.
got this. Okay. And so I decided, and I talked to my husband, and I was like, babe, I want to do this. And he was like, do you know what this means? I was like, yes. And I got out for a year, and I think I thought I had everything together, and
Yeah.
everything was going to work out. And all I know is I said, I'm ready to launch and tell people about personal style, because I know about colors and placement.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. And God said, how are you going to tell people how to look good on the outside? You're still struggling with yourself on the inside. I didn't know what one had to do with another at that
Wow.
point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it was a
That's so
reality
good.
that happened in actually 2015.
Yeah. That's so good though, because we put a lot of emphasis as women business owners. We put a lot of emphasis, and I shared this when I was highlighting our conversation today. We put a lot of emphasis on the outward appearance. What, like you said, what colors are are really gonna speak to us, and making sure our logo really resonates, and making sure our website has all the right pictures and all the right words. But what we forget about is the most important part, which is what you just said, which is,
Ooh,
how do you look and who are you on the inside?
because you know what, and we find ourselves rebranding, right?
Yeah. Right?
Rebranding, but no one has ever told us, whether you're in college, you
Yeah.
are, who are you?
Right. Right.
Has
Because
been,
that is really what your brand, I mean, that's where it originates, right? Like that's where it starts.
yeah. And it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that that you have to have all the answers, but you
Right.
have to have that nugget of understanding your base, your foundation, your
Yeah.
anchor of who
Yeah.
you are. And most people don't know, well, how do I get there?
Yeah.
How do I get to that part? And then put that in my brand,
Right. Right.
right?
How
And
do
for
I
people
get there,
to,
and then put it in your brand?
and
Yes.
then put it in your brand.
Yeah.
Um,
That's so good.
often authentically,
Yes.
unapologetically, because
Yes.
when it doesn't work initially, we don't want to, you can't run from it.
Right.
But you're not going to want to, once you brand and rebrand enough, and
Yeah.
you find out who you are and those pieces that and questions that people have never asked you about building your brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, opens up a
That's good.
whole another look at how you're going to honor yourself. And you realize every client's not for you. Every opportunity is not an opportunity. Every
Right.
party is not for you.
That's right.
Because you know who you are. It doesn't discount anything else that's going on around you. It
Yeah.
means that you have to be resolute.
Yes. Oh, I like that. Resolute. Yes. Yeah. That's really good, Gigi. I really, that's a word all by itself. Some of us have spent, thousands upon thousands of dollars rebranding at every turn and wondering, why that is. And granted, I appreciate that you said you don't have to have it all figured out, because I don't think that is, I don't think that's the catalyst to launching your business. Like, oh, you need to figure out all this stuff first. But I do think that we would be, we would be naive to not make that a part, or recognize, be aware that it is a part of the process, to make sure you understand who you are and then how you want that to show up in your brand and in your business. So how did you get to that point? You mentioned you were ready to launch, and then God kind of dropped it in your spirit, like, yeah, no, you're not there yet. So what is the process? Walk us through kind of your journey. How did you then take that next step to figure out how to get there?
It was basically dropping everything. And no one knew I dropped everything because Purple Runway was going on, right?
Yeah.
So it was dropping everything and really finding out who I was. If we think about it, as we go through school and elementary school, middle school, high school, college, all those things, we are never taught to worry about ourselves. We are taught to work for someone else.
Right.
And it was in 2012 when I left my corporate job, very good money, very good benefits, whatever, very good opportunities, and made changes in communities in up Georgia Avenue. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But we were built to build someone else's dream.
Yeah.
And in 2012, it wasn't popular during that time to say, you, when I became an entrepreneur, your event was the first event I went to.
Wow, shut up.
No, your mompreneur event, it was at a hotel or something.
Right.
That hotel.
Yes.
That was
I remember it was where I was honoring all the mompreneurs, and I was pregnant. Yes.
You were pregnant with your first baby.
Yes.
And then I came to your baby shower and all that. And I didn't give you, and see, and even with that, it was peeling back even at your baby shower, because when I came to your baby shower, it's like everybody gets things for the baby. And yeah, it is the baby shower, But
what about the mom?
But what about mom? And that's why I was like, you know what, Janelle, take this, honey.
You did. I remember that you were like, honey, take these cute little pajamas, this cute little lingerie pajama. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. She gave me, it stood out to me because you gave me a gift at a baby shower when normally it's for the baby, right?
And that was for the baby.
Right. That when you gave it to me, you was like, no, this is for you. And this is the baby too, right? And I love that though, because again, right in that moment, I was just like, that's so authentically her. Like you were like, I don't want, in essence, what it was saying to me was like, she's like, I don't want you to lose you in the midst of this.
But at that time, I still hadn't discovered all of me yet. But I knew,
that's powerful.
But I knew that I didn't want to lose me, and I didn't want any other woman to lose them in the process.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you have inspired me so much. And just to be able to walk next to you and grow with you, it has been a phenomenal journey for me. So, but yeah, it was just peeling back who you are and allow, and you, the thing is that you don't know when you're like, okay, everything is great now. So year after year, it was just like, and then like in 2019, when I had Purple Runway, and it was called The Breakthrough.
Now talk about Purple Runway, because so that the audience knows kind of the context of what Purple Runway is all about and how that came, because I know that that is a part of the journey. Like that's a part of the Kamisol style journey. So how did that come to be, and how does that fit into the, add into the journey? Yeah.
So so when God, put that on hold, it wasn't really on hold. I still work with people.
Yeah, you working
I
through
was
it.
building, and actually during that whole time I was in the lab, and I've come out with style psychology.
Yeah.
But yet I was working on, they say don't do too many things, it's going to confuse people. But this is my journey. God told me this is what I needed to do to heal.
Right.
He was like, you're going to do this, and then I'll take you back to that.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And sometimes that's sometimes what, and I'm so glad that you're saying that, because sometimes what we got to realize is that is the journey. Like
it is the journey.
That is the journey, that sometimes you are going to step into something else, not even fully understanding that that something else is going to connect back to what but just because you're stepping away, I think society has us think like when we step away from something, it is because it didn't work out, right? And I reject, I've gotten to a place where I've had to learn to reject that mentality, because if you built it, it worked out. If you made it come to fruition, I don't care if you made it come to fruition for a year, a month, it worked out, because the very existence of it means that it did what it was supposed to do.
Exactly.
Right? So I'm like, where do we get all coming in saying, oh, well, it's a fail, it's a flop because you've decided to move on to something else? No.
Nothing's forever.
Thank you. Nothing is forever. And everything has its season. So we've got to reject the notion of, because that season is either coming to a stop, a pause, a circle back, a 360, a 180, whatever it is, that it does not equal fail.
Speak on it, Janelle.
Okay, so I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, one thing about Purple Runway, it was a lot of work, and it was a lot of hard work. But you know what? Let me just say this. I needed Purple Runway to heal myself, of course. Along with the therapy. Now that all just didn't work alone.
Sure.
But in order for me to have the patience, the leadership, the understanding, all of those attributes that it takes to be a person that understands how to follow and lead, all of those attributes, I had to go through that journey. And in that journey, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Because before my journey, I'm a domestic violence survivor, honey.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm a domestic violence survivor. So my patience level, my certain things I would fight in a minute or whatever.
Yeah.
So God had to repair me.
Yeah. And he did that through Purple Runway.
And he did that through Purple Runway. Working with the survivors, building them, supporting them.
And giving them confidence, because I mean, you had these women out on a runway, walking. I mean, strutting.
Remember, we did 55 and older, and they were like, we did that in 2019. We're like high achieving women. Women over 50, I wasn't even 50 yet in 2019, but I'm 50 now, girl. And I'm like, we about to run this, okay? We about to turn this out, because the world needs us right now. Over 40, you over 40, we leaders in every single way, community, sisterhood, whatever. We got some teaching to do.
I love it. I love it. That's right. That's right. I love it. That's so good. And I do believe that there is a part of a part of our journey, and for those of us who are faith-based, that God will call us to do things, to not only heal ourselves, but because he knows that healing is going to overflow onto other people who need to be in that same space so that they can heal too. Because think about the women and the people who were a part of that experience, who now have a totally different outlook, who now maybe able
They're
to.
soaring.
Yes.
Like, those
Yes.
survivors are soaring.
Yeah.
I mean, the community of people, like in 2016, I had this one person, her name was Ashley Epiphany. She did a poem that was called Michael Kors. And it was about fashion and how it, just takes over and she slayed it. She's always slayed that poem. Wow. But the thing is that in 2016, when she rocked that runway, there were people in the runway that never heard of spoken word, preferably the leaders of Saks Fifth Avenue. Sure. They called me the next day, and my dear friend at Saks, and she said, Gigi, I have never heard anything as powerful in my life than that poem that was on that runway. Yeah. Because we had Roberto Cavalli, Fendi, Gucci,
yes, I remember you had them all coming out.
All on the runway, right? Yes. And she said she has never seen or heard anything as powerful as what Epiphany gave. Yeah. Me.
And look, and so there's a chance that she would have never been exposed.
She would have never been exposed to that.
Yeah.
But now she understands and appreciates it because she experienced it and witnessed it in such a powerful way that has to do with style and fashion.
Yes.
Fashion is this, but style is this, baby.
Yeah.
Right? Come on now.
Come on now. Yeah, so let's talk about style, because girl, you are my style like spirit. I'm just like, okay, if I can just, child, let me just get a little bit of what Gigi has. I said I'll be styling it up to the gods, but you are just so, I love it. You have a way of bringing things together. You obviously have a vision for it. What would you say if somebody asked you what your style was, like your brand identity through your style? What would you say? What would be your answer?
Well, I say that a lot of people, not everyone, they have a dominant style and an alter ego style. Right?
Okay.
So your dominant style is the time where, you go out to work, you go to, people, work, social, well, maybe not some social events, but it is who you show who you are, right?
Okay.
Your alter ego is when you're around your people, how you dress, how you act, how you talk, all of those things. But to become authentic, how do you bring those things together?
Oh, that's good.
Your dominant and your alter ego styles, understanding personality, approachability, likability, credibility, dependability, all of those things that make up the characteristic of you. Now, some people, they totally, okay, let me give you an example of totally hiding. Okay. This is and don't get anyone get offended, like the law clerk.
Listen, we here to speak the truth. We here to speak the truth.
The law clerk working on the hill with the glasses on, they're like this. And then at night, they're like, woo, 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 And then the law clerk caught in a scam, you know what I mean? So you would like, I'm surprised. One thing that people will, as my journey has grown, you don't have to worry about seeing Gigi this way and seeing Gigi that way.
Right.
This is what you get.
Right.
Now it's about being appropriate in that setting. Right. So you have frequencies and rhythm, and you dial what your frequency is, where you're going. So anywhere I go, they're going to accept my dominant and alter ego style. Right. So I don't wake up in the morning and say, oh my goodness, I got to go do this presentation. Because when I woke up and did the presentation for the Chamber of Commerce in 2019, very first time I did the presentation on personal style and branding, let me tell you, I walked in there, and the proof is we got pictures with a sequenced skirt on.
Yes.
And a jacket, I sure did. And I was like, well, they don't like it, I ain't.
They don't like it or they ain't.
And you know what? I received feedback from the group. I had it sold, I mean, not sold out, it RSVP'd out.
Yeah.
We had a room full of people.
Yeah.
But the thing about this is that when I got my information back, the feedback from the group, one person said, you always go to that comment. You're like, well, what do you mean?
Yeah, right.
Like,
What is that?
I'm just saying she, I don't know, it was a few he's in there.
Sure.
I love what she said. It makes sense, this, and that. But I was just distracted by the skirt. I was like, great, you're not my client. Oops.
Right.
You're not. So that is how, exactly. So I understand, either I'm going to draw you.
Right. Either I draw you in.
Or I don't.
Right.
And that cuts the middleman out.
Right. And to your point, your gut reaction to that was, okay, so that person just doesn't align with me. Like, that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Where I think sometimes the initial reaction is, oh, well, what did I do wrong? Right. So
but that's being in control of your brain.
Right. So I love that, it sounds like part of you developing your brand, your brand and style is, again, we use unapologetically being you, but it's like really understanding that at the end of the day, whatever spaces you do show up in, there are going to be some people who are drawn, immediately because they're attracted to your light, your energy, your style. But then there are going to be some who are not, who may be like, okay, well, I can appreciate that, what she's saying makes sense. But we're not going to be BFFs, right?
Yeah.
We may not hang out at the bar. That's okay.
That's okay. And you know what? And let me just say this. How do you become in control of your brand so effortlessly? It's being in control of the 7-Eleven rule.
Okay, what's the 7-Eleven rule? Okay.
So the 7-Eleven rule, and I should have pulled that up because I can't rattle them off.
Okay.
But it's all of the so when you walk in any event, networking event, interview, whatever, everyone's being judged. You're being judged. You just judge people. So when you have a first impression, that's why they say first impressions are very important.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So within that 7 seconds, 11 judgments, variation of, are being made about you. What is your background? What is your cultural background? How are you dressed? What is your religion background? All of these things you're being judged by. So just imagine if you're walking into, let's say I walked in with my sequin skirt and my tuxedo jacket, I gave you what you wanted up here, I'm me down here, and I walk into the wrong room, that I will never overcome that.
Yeah.
But because I walked into the room saying, you know what, let's try it.
Like, I'm here.
They're very corporate-y people, but let's try it.
Right.
And it worked. It really, really worked.
Right.
And that's because, again, being authentically you.
Yes.
Everyone, you're 99%, that 1% may not have liked it, but the 99% was like, girl, you go, I love it.
Exactly. And you got to be okay with letting the 1% think, be, whatever, go, right? And not being mean. I'm not saying that in a mean, petty way, but it's true. You have to be okay with that 1%. What's better, the 99% or the 1%? I'm gonna go with the 99%.
I'm gonna go with the 99% of the time.
They'll figure it out, right? So I love that. And there's so much power in that. And I really think that a lot of us as women business owners, as women entrepreneurs, we have to get ourselves to a space where we are truly okay with that and understand that, just like anything else, that is just the rules of the road of being, stepping into who you are. And that is how your brand, when we talk about how do I make my brand stand out, that starts with you, that's how your brand stands out, by you being you, your authentic self.
And then working on your, when we talk fonts and logos of you. the fonts and logos of you.
That's when those things
That's
come
what
in.
I'm talking about. Yes.
Exactly. That's where those
You are
things
the
come in.
masterpiece. And when I say fonts and logo, I'm talking about your measurements, the colors that work best for you, what's going to make your undertones glow, your dominant and your dominant and your contrasting colors. How do you make up that wardrobe to make it just, it's not about the clothes.
Yeah.
Ooh, those clothes, just the colors and how you flow that, the fabrication that is you. So it's like 4 types of women. Well, in my system, I have 4 types of women, and how we identify their personality to their professional output. What is that? What does that look? Do you like strong lines? Do you like flowy fabric? So I'm sorry, you did ask me what is my style.
Yes, what is your style? You almost got away from me with that.
Right. Yeah, so my style is more modern chic. If I'm saying my dominant style is modern chic, but my alter ego is so bohemian, and that's where the creative spirit comes from, you know. But my modern chic is me going in a sequin skirt and a t-shirt with a tuxedo jacket for training in a corporate office.
Right. That's right.
But you know what? It's okay, because if you think about the inauguration. What was it about?
Right. Like they were very much more, I saw how, a lot more style showed up for each person, and what I loved is that every single person's looked like them. Like it wasn't like, oh yeah, no, that's really more Michelle, or that's really more Jill on Michelle. It's like, no, Michelle looked like Michelle, Jill looked like Jill. Lady Gaga looks like Lady Gaga. I mean, and that's the thing, is that I think also when the same way we understand our style, I think, or when we come to understand our style, that there are people around us who also come to understand it and recognize it. And that's how we know when somebody's truly showing up in their authenticity, because we're like, oh, that just looks like if you were to walk in, I know you well enough now that if you were to walk in and you just had on a simple blue suit, the cuff, coiffed legs, and the blazer and a button, I would be like, what did you do with Gigi? Like,
and you know what? That is exactly right. It's happened to me. I had pulled my hair back. I put white and black on and went somewhere. It was my own personal experience. And someone said to me, it was like, Gigi, like they couldn't even figure it out. I was like, oh, got it.
Like, who are you?
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting to recognize that not only do we then feel out of sorts, right, out of whack, but then other people notice it.
Other people. So let me give you a story that everyone can Google to prove exactly what you're saying. So if we remember, let's talk about Hillary Clinton. And just like everyone that was there, they had their different purples. They represented the different layers of purple. It was a reason why they wore all of that. Different tones was for each one of those. But let's talk about Hillary Clinton. When she first came in office, of course, she was the first lady, right? And if you Google the dress, her first picture, and I think it was the library, right before the first State of the Union, she wore a black dress, right? It was high neck and it had cold shoulders. So it was just like this, like fabric. It was, they weren't thinking about that in those days. Right. So when she released that image, the press attacked her. Oh my God, she's disrespecting. The first lady, she has her shoulders out. It's so inappropriate. You can Google this, right? So what happened from there, Hillary said, you know what? She started getting into politics even more. I'm going to be taken seriously. And what she did is, of course, all of them mostly have stylists. So her stylist, she wanted to be like the men. She says, I want to be respected just like the men. So she started wearing her bright colored suits, but they were boxed off. Right?
Wow.
Okay. Now all her suits are boxed off. Now let's just go through her different times. Now she tried to say, look, I'm pumping my own gas. And we're like, girl, bye. You ain't never pumped no dag. You haven't even driven in 18 years.
Right.
So is she trying to make, oh, I got hot sauce in my bag, swag. All of this. Hillary tried everything. But she could not win over suburban women.
Yeah.
You know why? Because she was inauthentic to herself. She wanted to be taken seriously by the men, and those box suits boxed her off.
Yeah.
Now look at her now. If you Google her, you'll see her in little leather jackets that's fitted with some little, things that looks better.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the next one. Let's talk about Michelle real quick.
Okay.
My forever first.
Yes, my forever first.
Yeah, forever. Yes. You can never say Michelle without saying my forever first lady.
Ever.
So when she came in the office, same thing. They get their first picture, and Michelle was standing there with her arms out, and that big
That's right.
Arms out, right. And she was standing there, and the press said, "Oh my God, what is she doing? She's disrespecting the office of the first lady." And her arms are out, and da-da-da. And what did Michelle do? She didn't change a thing.
Keep doing her thing. That's right.
She didn't change a thing. Her stylist didn't change a thing. She didn't change a thing. And you know what? She went to the Teen Choice Awards. Yes. She broke the internet with the Balenciaga boots, thigh-high boots. She's been on every cover of Glamour, da-da-da-da. She wrote a book and sold it out like she was sleeping. You know what I mean? This is the power of style and fashion. Not fashion, style. And fashion. Okay? And understanding what you're giving off when you do that. Now, people can say, "Oh, girl, you look good." But that doesn't mean that you are your best.
Right. Oh, right? That's good.
You got your logo.
Because you look good doesn't mean that you are your best.
Yes, your logo is your best.
That's right. That's right. That's good.
Your website is your best.
That's right.
But yet, you wearing that black suit because everybody said it was appropriate for me to wear the black suit.
That's right.
And it may go with your personality, but you know what? That black suit could be. What could be your signature look or trademark style, or what the black suit? What it could be you. You could be a type 4 woman in my program. Yeah. As a determined woman, a conscious woman, a very structured woman. Yeah. A very get to the point woman. That black suit is going to work for you. Right.
If that's like you said, if that's your authentic style, that's like you're giving that off. I love that.
Our dominant and alter ego. Now let's pull both of those things together, and child, you got a good form. You got your formula for success. Your formula for success.
Yes, which is not like anybody
else's.
That's so good. That's so good. Oh my gosh, Gigi. Okay, I could talk about this forever. I know y'all are getting some nuggets out there because it's, it's so powerful when we really go introspective with this, and again, stop being surface about, it's your brand and, you need to look at your colors and your words. And that's it, but that's not the total package. And so I'm so glad that you are sharing this. That was a great example between Hillary Clinton and Michelle Obama, because you can clearly see night and day how that played out, and Michelle has always stayed true to her style, her look, it embodies who she is. It gives off, that energy of who she is. And I'm glad to be a witness to say that it is truly who she is from meeting her, So I just think that style is so powerful and so much more important than I think what we have really taken the time to recognize and realize, so we're clearly, oh my gosh, we are clearly,
it's already time gone.
No, it's already time. So before we jump into our rapid fire, Gigi, I want you to give, what would be your number one piece of advice that you would give to them? Because we, before we jumped on to have our conversation, one of the things that you said resonated with me, which is, how can we as women, start to pour this into our women that are coming up, our young ladies who are coming up, to understand that, looking inward for understanding who you are and being true to who you are. That's right. In your style and in how you show up that is like in you know, in our words, that's where the money resides. Like that's where the bag is secured. You know, stop looking out here at all these things that you think you need to be and who you think you need to show up as, right? And really start looking inward. And so I want you to give, you know, what would be your resounding piece of advice for, you know, women out there and young ladies? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's us women over 40, because I love working, I love high achieving women. I love powerful women like you. This is the reason why we connect so well.
Yeah.
And I think that what it is that this is the time more than ever that women, you know, let me just say this. If I was not the last administration's best supporter, right?
Girl, that could be a whole part two right
but
there.
One thing that it did was wake the mamas up of the earth. Was like, you know what? Okay, we about to take over this because y'all did showed your tail.
Right.
Okay, so we got this. So but I think how we maximize on what is going right now is that and how God has planned it so well.
Yeah.
Understanding and developing.
He is the great planner.
Yes. That with that style psychology program and teaching women about colors and everything, and going into the middle schools and the high schools, because I've taught there too here in Prince William County, and talked to them about brand and being prepared. And then also the universities, because they don't teach us. They don't teach us how to invest in us, because you know it would even help the universities and the government agencies and everything else. It's going to be a metric.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why that we have been working diligently over these years, where God was like, it was this. Now you are in control of your emotions a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'm the wild child.
So we all are working.
Right. We all, you know, a little bit, a lot better. So now, you know what, go back over here.
Yeah.
Finish up, and you know, we have the government, we approve for government contracting, professional development, and all of those things. You have to get in those places, high schools, middle schools, universities, and colleges, and teach women about their power.
That's right.
Because that's how they're gonna teach their babies, and because this system wasn't built for us to know who we are. It was built for us to serve you and your ideas and your businesses. And right now, everyone's saying no more.
Yeah, that's right. To plug into somebody else's dream or idea of what or who we need to be in order to serve that capacity, but not our own.
That's right. So, and it's nothing wrong if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But it's others out here. You're on the inside. Help us on the inside, the ones that's on the outside.
Yeah.
Bring us inside and help us.
But even for our women who are not, you know, of the entrepreneurial spirit, maybe you are a woman in business who is just trying to climb the ranks within that business, in that infrastructure, right? There still has to be that foundation that you talked about earlier of knowing who you are, because I've been in corporate America. You can get lost in the sauce.
That's right.
In corporate America, just the same way you can out here being an entrepreneur. You know, if you don't have that, I think it all goes back to having that foundation, you know, of understanding, doing the work, the inner work, understand who you are, right? And then, you know, then thou shalt not be shaken. Like, let's be clear. So I love that. I think that is powerful. I think that is acute. I think it's so on point. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. All right, are you ready to dive into these rapid fire questions?
Yes. You got some music with it? I'm gonna dance anyway. Okay. Changing the segment. Okay.
Right. All right. Number one, what do you like to do for fun? She's like, I am fun.
Yeah, what do I like to do for fun? I love to, you know, well, be with my family. That's always, you know, we get to do that. But I really love sitting and chit-chatting with powerful women. I really, really do. It just, having wine, talking to powerful women, you know.
Well, see, you said the W word. There's got to be two W's, the women, then the wine.
The women, then the wine. That's right. So I just love,
That's good. That's good. What's one stereotype about either moms or women that drives you bananas?
That we have to play nice all the time.
Mm.
Whether you're a mom or you're a high achieving woman,
Yeah.
you have to understand. I don't think that we always have to play nice, because the world does not respect playing nice all the time. You have to be resolute. You don't have to be mean or anything, but you have to be resolute. And because you raise your voice does not make you an angry woman.
That's right. That's right. That's right. It's not angry. I am just trying to get my point across. Okay. Who is your BFF in your head?
Oh my goodness, there's so many of them. I do. I have so many of them, and it depends on the day. I think Badass Boss.
I can see that.
Absolutely love her.
Yes.
She is the epitome of authentic. And she takes that into every single room that she goes in, you know. So
good.
And then Michelle and Rihanna.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, Beyonce's business acumen.
Oh, it's unmatched.
I could go
unmatched.
on.
Undefeated.
You! Oh my God, you!
Girl, okay,
No,
moving on now.
No, for real. You out here in these streets doing it, okay?
You're a mess. I love you so much. What do you dream of becoming?
I dream of becoming impactful, happy, peaceful and happy and impactful. That's it. And that could be with my baby girl, or but I believe that I have achieved that in so many ways already, and everything else is gravy. Everything else is gravy. So yeah.
That's good. I love that. All right, and then lastly, what's your favorite song and why? I know you're a music lover like I am, girl. I love me some music.
Okay, I am. Okay, you probably won't know this. I'm a Nipsey Hussle huge fan.
What?
So yeah, I like hood music. I'm just so Racks in the Middle. I like, a lot of people don't know his Racks in the Middle, Hustle and Flow, dedication. I'm a true Nipsey Hussle fan, and the reason why is because of the story behind him just being authentic and true to himself. So when he got that record deal and to make those songs, it was like, okay, here, it was already done, because if he was authentic with his, he didn't have to change anything.
That's right. That's right. And then to give back to, his community, whole nother level. So
I got a lot of people, but Nipsey, I was in the car just listening to him with the windows cranking, so he came to mind.
That's so good. That's so good. See, you did good, girl. I knew you would. You knock it out of the park. So tell the people, how can they stay connected with you, Gigi? You are, a wealth of knowledge. Just again, just all the energy, the positive vibes. So I know y'all are gonna want to stay connected to her. So let them know how they can find you and where they can stay connected.
Sure. I'm Gigi McMillan here on Facebook, and Kamisol Style pretty much everywhere else. So Instagram and Facebook, and I think some other place. And Alignable, I really am liking Alignable. That's a shout out, but anyway. But what I do want to tell everyone is, I want you guys to walk away with this thought today. Number one, two thoughts. One, Janelle has been a huge inspiration to me. She, during the time that she didn't even know that she was helping someone that was struggling, she called me and said, Gigi, let's do this shoot together, years ago. And that was God pouring into, because when he shifted me, right, to do this work with Purple Runway, she was still gave me opportunities to come back to the source, and always had my heart because of that. So I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for saying yes.
Yes. And the second thing is that I know these times are hard. And I know that right now we are struggling. I am struggling in so many ways, but I refuse to allow negativity, inauthentic people, inauthentic opportunities, or anything to pierce your joy.
Yes, that's it.
Remember, the beauty of you is how you wear who you are day to day. And I'm not talking about your clothes this time.
Yeah, that's so good. Oh, I just got chills. That's so good. I love it. Well, listen, is there anything that you want to share in terms of your business with the audience?
Yes.
How can they work with you maybe? I know you do consults. Is there an opportunity to do that with you?
Yeah, so if you guys go to my website, you can sign up for diagnostics. So I have a diagnostics, which is a 20-minute free call right now. We're going to be changing those from free because it's too busy.
That's right.
And we have strategy sessions. So your own personal style strategy session from there, and then your transformational session. So it comes up where I do personal shopping for you online, different things, and giving you a whole understanding about the frequency and the rhythm of your individual personal style. And even if you are a twin, your style is different than your twin. Your measurements are even a little different than your mother's or what have you. So we have that. Then also in the fall, we launched our 21-day challenge, and I really want people to join the 21-day challenge.
Is this a style challenge? Like how
it actually comes into style, but see, the thing is, we're working on the who you are first,
right?
And then how we're going to tell you how to do it. So this 21-day challenge, it's a way that we're going to tap into the first week, the love of your body.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
The next week is the love of your voice. The third week is the love of your spirit. And these are authentic ways that I have come through this journey to increase my own confidence.
Yes.
Increase my own positioning and well-being. And it's been years. So this 21-day challenge and working with each other, it's called the Girlfriend's Guide to Self-Love.
Oh, I love that.
So we're going to be launching that in the fall. But if you guys want to, send me an email or send us a message on Facebook or something, and we'll get you into the loop of how that's going to play out. And of course, it will.
Well, sign me up. Look, sign me up. I'm there. Okay, because I love that. I mean, there's not enough of that, and I love that. And I think that it's working on, like you said, the love of your body, the love of your voice, the love of your spirit, which are all the things that honestly you need to be loving.
That's right.
To love yourself, and then for that to pour out onto others. So.
And that business will flourish from there.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Flourishing. No need to brand. No need to,
Yes.
Because
I love it.
You are you. But thank you so much, my sister.
Thank you. Thank you, my sister. This was beautiful. Thank you for sharing this time and space with me. Guys, thank you guys. I hope that you got a lot out of this. Listen, make sure you go back, re-listen. There were so many nuggets that Gigi shared. And as I always say, if there is a woman in your life who would benefit from hearing this too, this will meet them right where they are. Please hit that share button and share it with them. I always say sharing is caring. So listen, my friends, until next time, I look forward to sharing this space again with you next week, same time, same place. And until then, just remember, you can have it all, but as long as it is on your terms and your time. All right, we're gonna jump over to IG Live and do a little unplug session there. So those of you who want to join us, feel free to jump over there. But hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Get out in this sunshine. As my good sister friend Vicki Johnson will say, hug a tree. And we'll see you again real soon. Okay, bye guys.